Welcome back, guys. Today is video 9. We are rifling through these and today's topic is all about candidate experience. So we've talked about searching for, attracting, finding, screening and engaging candidates. I've covered so much already and it's only video 9. So today it's about the candidate experience, so their journey with you as a candidate through the whole thing, and that is right from the beginning of them seeing your advert and applying, or however it is they got involved, if they were referred to you or they found your advert or you headhunted them on LinkedIn. However that journey started, that's where their experience begins. And I suppose the end really is not necessarily when they've got the job, or it's not necessarily when they start with you on day one. It's beyond that, I think. I know that some people probably would argue with that, but it's my video, so we're going to go with that as gospel truth. So companies are really used to customer experience, like people actually do this as a job, or user experience when it comes to how technology looks like, of course, software or your website, how it looks to the person using it and their experience of the tool, the technology, the platform. Customer experience, people are really hot on this at the moment. It's all about how that customer feels from start to finish in the sales process and beyond. So whether they're buying or something's broken and you're trying to fix it, it's all about making it a positive experience for them as much as possible, because all of that feeds into your reputation as a company, as a brand, and it's about whether they leave you a review or whether they tell other people about this amazing experience or service they had as a customer of your business. Whether they tell people good or bad things about you, it's whether they stay a customer or whether they come back for repeat business. So businesses are good at this. Not all, some have a little way to go, but everybody knows about it. And I don't think enough people think about the candidate experience as part of your recruitment process. And it's important for all the same reasons. If they're the candidate that you want and they have not had a positive experience, they are not going to accept that job. They are not going to say nice things to their friends and family about you. They aren't going to recommend anybody else to your business. And they're certainly not going to become a customer if that's relevant. If they have a positive experience and they get the job, they'll do the opposite of all of that. But if they have a positive experience and they don't get the job, they will still do those things. They will still follow you on social media. They will still tell their friends and family about the amazing experience that they had. Might not be as influential as if they got the job, because they're still disappointed that they didn't get the job, but they'll still say nice things about you. They still may even leave you a review on Glassdoor, on Google, on your website, on Facebook, wherever you've got you signed up for. They will still do the positive things. So candidate experience not only ensures that you can actually secure the talent that you want above and beyond your competition, but it also means that they will champion your brand and your reputation to other people that could either be customers or could either be future candidates or future employees. So it's really, really important to put some time into it, not interview, I've got interviews on the brain. Put time into it, oh my God. And make it powerful, impactful, make it positive. It doesn't actually take that much time, that much effort, that much money to do it right. It just needs a little bit of thought, a little bit of preparation, and just to treat candidates like actual human beings. Because, like, I suppose to kind of expand on the point, like you might pull in hundreds of candidates through your recruitment, of course you will after you've watched all these videos. You'll pull in loads and loads and loads of candidates, but you may only give the job to 1 or 2, or a very small number in comparison. So if they all have a positive experience, you've got hundreds of people saying good things about your business, which is amazing for your reputation. If they don't have a good experience, you've got hundreds of people talking crap about your business, which you don't want. And also, if you treat people well with kindness and respect, you give them a positive experience and you look after them, even though they don't get the job, they might be candidates for you in the future for a different job, or in a few years' time, they might be suitable for the job that you interviewed them for now. So it's always best to to not burn any bridges and treat people with kindness and respect at every turn. I think that's just a thing that people should be doing in general life, but definitely in the recruitment process as well. And because we've had it where we've interviewed people, we didn't give them the job at the time because they weren't quite right for whatever reason, but then they've come back to us in the future, they've followed us on social media, they've followed the journey, they've either come back to us or we've gone back to them and gone, we're hiring again and we'd absolutely love to consider you this time. And they've been amazing. But had they not had a positive experience, absolutely no chance they would be interested second time around. So it's really, really important. And we've also had it where a candidate that we found a job for has become a client. So it's absolutely massive, and it doesn't even take that much to do it right and to do it well and to make that positive impact. So treat people well like the human beings they are, and you can't really go far wrong. So it starts with everything that we'll discuss through this, through the Academy. It starts with the adverts, the screening call, the interviews, the whole experience when they come to interview for you. But part of your candidate experience aren't just the elements in the recruitment process that they follow through as a candidate. So they come to your interview, they get feedback, they might get an offer, they get the contracts and everything on time, they get started, and so on and so forth. If they don't get the job, after the interview, they get the feedback, they get a decision, they get some constructive feedback that they can implement into the future. But outside of the process of recruitment, there's so many other things that kind of feed into your candidate experience. So obviously you've got your written documents, or your adverts and your job descriptions, but keep notes. So we talked on the last video about your candidate screening call and having a templated document that gives you all of the information you need to get from the candidates and the information you need to give to the candidates, but also gives you a place to record their answers so you can easily revisit them in the future, and you can easily compare them against other people in your current recruitment process. But it's really important to keep notes, like what did they say to you? Remember things about people, track activity, whether it's in a Word document, you've got an Excel spreadsheet, or you actually have part on your CRM, or you have an applicant tracking system. Remember people's information. Remember, don't keep asking them the same questions over and over again. Remember what they tell you. People remember how you make them feel. So if you make them feel like you're not listening, that's not going to give them a positive candidate experience, and they're probably not going to join your business if they think that you're not going to listen to them, because you're not going to take on any ideas or feedback that they might give you as an employee. And I think it's really important to thank people. So when I go to a meeting with a customer or a prospect, I always follow up afterwards, and I always thank them for making the time to have the meeting or giving me the opportunity to go and pitch for them. I'm always grateful and respectful and humbled by the opportunity. But do the same thing with your candidates. They're still people. No, they're not going to be customers, but they're going to be your future workforce. Without an amazing team of people, you don't have a business. So it's still as exciting, and they're still people. So I still think you should be grateful, and you should be respectful, and you should still be humbled by the fact that they are considering your business as a potential employer for them, because the job market is competitive, and I think it's a really outdated opinion that candidates have to impress us. They must come to want to work for us, but it has to be the other way around as well. You have to make them want to come and work for you. So thanking them, I think, is job one, and just being nice and kind to people and giving them information. So updating them on their job status. If you've got a massive hopefully after you've written your adverts from watching the video earlier on in the series, you're going to have a stampede of candidates applying, which is going to take you some time. So the people that you first speak to are going to have a little bit of time to wait until you've reviewed everybody before you can move to the next stage of your process. And just let them know, set expectations at the beginning of the process on the candidate screening call. We have had a massive response to our adverts, and we're just making our way through it. Even if you email them out, if you've not managed to get to the call with them yet, just explain that things might take a little bit longer than they normally would. People are not usually unreasonable, and not everybody, because some people just are unreasonable, and they will kick off and they won't be happy, but you don't want those people. Everybody else that's understanding, patient, and appreciative, they're the people that you want. But remember, they are looking for a job. They might need a job, or they might just be looking for a change. They'll be active in the marketplace. They'll be going to other interviews, so they could do with knowing where you're up to, because if they're really interested in you, and they know that it's going to be a slight delay, they know they need to hold everybody else off as well. So the information, it enables them to kind of slow their process down so that you've got time to consider them for your opportunity. Give them feedback where possible. Definitely, if they don't get the job, give them feedback, as long as it's constructive and it's not something that they can't change. Always give them as much feedback as possible, because it will help them next time they go to an interview. It could help them next time they come to interview with you. But I feel like they've taken time out of their life to consider you as an employer. They've researched your business, they've made time for an interview, it's cost them money to travel to your business to interview with them. The least you can do is keep them up to date, thank them and give them feedback. That's what I think anyway. I've got my clicker the wrong way around. I'm going back a slide. So be understanding, be kind, be respectful and appreciate their time. It is not just about you. The recruitment process is more about the candidates than it is you. So get your ego out the door and be humble. And try not to have delays between, I've got a really itchy nose. Try not to have huge delays in between your interviews. Obviously, I know that some things will happen that can't be helped. If people have got COVID or they're off sick or something has happened in their personal situation, but make sure you let people know and don't just say to the candidate that you're going to have to rearrange, because that'll make them feel like they're not valued, they're not important. But give them the reasons why if you can, or give them some information why. You don't need to give them the whole detail about the situation. But they are people and they will understand that you're also a person too and that things happen. But if you can, move heaven and earth to interview good people quickly. Sometimes we've had a feedback in the past where clients have said, well, you know, if they're interested in coming working here, they will wait. But if you flip that round, the candidate might think, well, if you're interested in me, then you would move heaven and earth to see me sooner. So you can look at things on both sides. So make sure you do whatever you can to interview people quickly, especially if they're really good and you're very excited about them. Do what you can, because people have families, they've got lives, dreams, ambitions. They might not be able to wait around for you to, you know, just slowly get around to interviewing them. Try and do things as quickly as possible. And then again, try not to have a massive gap in between your interview and your decision. And if there is going to be one because you've got a lot of interviews and they're not all next to each other due to availability, just explain that. Just say it's going to be X number of days or weeks before we come back to you because we've had a really positive response to this position, and so I've got quite a few people to interview, but we will come back to you. Just let them know at the beginning, and then you're setting their expectations right then and there, and then you can manage them instead of 2-3 weeks might have passed and then you're going back to them, because most likely they've probably accepted another job at that point because they didn't think you were interested because you didn't bother to tell them. So make sure that you're telling them all the way through the process that you are interested and manage their expectations. And I suppose final point to remember is that moving jobs is one of the most stressful things people can do. What is it? Getting married, getting divorced, moving jobs. I'm sure there's another one. But it's one of the major life stones. People might not do it very often. I know more so these days, people move jobs more frequently than they used to. But it is a massive deal, especially if someone's been in a job for a long time. They might have been made redundant, so it's stressful, it's emotional, or it's just time, you know, they've bitten that bullet to move, to think it's time for a change, to do something different, but it's still stressful. It is still a big deal. So please try to remember that. Oh, here he is. Lewis is coming. I don't think you can see him, but I can. He's coming for the final point on this video. I don't know where he's been. Chilling out somewhere. But yeah, just remember that when you might get annoyed that people can't make it to an interview, or they're nervous, or they might delay the process, just remember that it is stressful for them as the interviewee. So yeah, that's it on candidate experience. I'll see you next time on video 10.